John frickin' Shack. The Shack Attack is here. All right. What's up, buddy?
Howdy. I made it back. Sorry I ran away there for a second. Nicole started yelling at me immediately.
It's all good, man. Well, first of all, one of these is coming your way.
Congratulations!
Congratulations going out to John Shack and his first major release. You've had some downloads before. You've played the download game, but now this is your first physical product. First, I just want to know, John Shack, how the hell do you feel? How does it feel to have your first thing hit the market? It's so exciting, you know?
It feels incredible. Like I guess I don't really know how to describe it fully. Like I'm really appreciative for all the love and support that I've already been getting, and you having me on the show, and then everybody just being awesome. Like I don't know, it's really gratifying right now. I'm nervous and excited to read criticisms because it's going to happen. So I don't know what to expect here, but I'm ready.
Well, Scott R. Smith is showing you some love. He says this is very cool, John Shack. Ryan Garber also throwing in some love your way, along with Dwayne Winstead and the rest of the guys. So lots of love, obviously, coming your way about this. So, yeah, just so cool. I can't believe it's here. We've all been waiting for you, so I can't imagine how you feel, like waiting for your own trick to come out. So we've been wanting it for you for so long now. You know that.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing the Magic Chats for almost 3 years now, and I pretty much have been waiting on this to drop for the entirety of that. So it's definitely been a long process coming, and I'm excited to finally see it hit and see what happens.
Yeah.
I really appreciate everybody being so kind to me. It makes me feel really good, and I am trying to wrap my head at night so I don't get too big of an ego going on.
I don't see that being a problem with you. You're a pretty, grounded and just a cool guy. But we'll keep you in check. We'll be sure to keep you in check.
Yeah, please do. I might need it occasionally.
We've already got some questions coming in. So you ready? You ready to just start, dialing in these? Yeah, just bring them up.
Yeah, let's do it.
The first one's a really good question, actually, and this one I didn't even have on the radar yet, and maybe you will know the answer to this. John Shack, bring you up here. Brian Cornwell wants to know, looks great. Will refills be available? Obviously, the give out cards you have, are there going to be some refills possibly coming down the pipe with this?
So with the trick itself, you get 7 of the souvenir gimmicks to give away. So that'll get you started. I don't know exactly how refills and everything are going to work out as of right now. I haven't been told anything specific. Obviously, it'd be great not to have to repurchase the whole trick again and just be able to buy, a whole deck of refills or something along those lines. So we'll see how it goes. I am happy to press Penguin a little more to see how we might be able to make something like that happen. But you get 7 to start with, so okay. I know that.
Okay, very good. So we'll keep you guys posted as time goes on. One question I had for you right out of the gate, is how did you come up with this? A lot of times people have ideas that go with different plots in Magic. We've been talking a lot about some other tricks recently that were based on other tricks, like the plot of a trick, like a rubber band trick, the linking bands or something. This is so weird, though. It's not like anything else that's out there. So how did this even become a thing in the John Shack head? How did that even become an idea to begin with?
So it all kind of started in 2018. I quit my full-time job on a whim. I was just tired of the job, so I quit the job. My thought process was that I'm gonna do Magic full-time and try to create and all this kind of stuff, because I've created for a long time. And I never really felt like I had gone full force into the whole deal. So what I was trying to do is just be creative every day. So I sat down, created as much as I possibly could every day, just trying to work on a new idea. And then this thing just kind of popped in my brain. I was like, oh, wow, that might work. And I looked at some other mismade card kind of ideas before. Caleb Morelli's notably is one that I've enjoyed the visual of, that came with the like Gaff Pack kind of thing that they put out a while back. But yeah, I literally just, the idea popped in my head. I went to my fiance and I tried to explain to her what this idea was, literally describing the gimmick. And I'm like, oh, so it'd work like this, and I trying to do it. And she does not care about magic quite the same way that I do. So she didn't get it. And I felt compelled that I just have to build this thing and show it to her. And so I did that. I built the very first one. I showed it to her, and she's like, "Oh, okay, that's pretty cool." And then I started kind of developing routines with it from there. So obviously, the general inspiration, like you were asking for, mismade card, mismade bill, that kind of thing. And then it kind of just, this struck me one day. It just kind of happened, I guess.
Cool.
Opportunity and luck.
Very cool. This is a good question. We're talking about the inception, the original idea, but for those people that have never gone through the process of, submitting a trick and then having it officially in your hands and having it be released, Scott R. Smith's got a good question. From the time that the card was completed, how long did it take to come to market? Maybe just a general idea of like a timeline of inception to I've got it in my hands and it's out.
So I've been sitting on this for about 5.5 years, to put that into some type of perspective, and not 100% of that was me trying to submit the trick. I came up with the idea, and then I started just kind of tinkering with it, playing with it, using it for myself mainly, and I posted a video online one day, and then a couple of people seemed to be kind of interested in it. They thought maybe it would be cool to use on their social media. And I was like, well, maybe I need to start building more of these. And so before I ever pitched it to anyone, I created my own packaging, my own gimmicks and gaffs and all that kind of stuff. And I packaged everything up, and I was selling those privately. And then, yeah, I did my first lecture, and that was in 2020, February of 2020. I did it for my local magic club, and got a pretty good response from those guys. So I started pitching it to people. I got turned down a number of times. So like three different magic companies turned me down before I got told my first yes. And then there was deliberation for a while about whether or not it would be a featured product in actual, because this is produced by Penguin Magic. So they deliberated for probably a week if they were going to bring it on as an actual P3 product. And then from the time I signed contracts to yesterday, whenever this trick was published, has been about 2 years and 3 months.
Very cool. You have to pardon me. I'm enjoying Taco Tuesday in style. I've got tacos that are disappearing, so I'm listening. I'm also eating them.
Love it. I'm jealous. I had to get it.
So the big question is, and this is a good one, because some stuff's DIY. You got to make it yourself. Tommy wants to know, so we do not have to make anything with this. This comes pre-made. The gimmick is there. You open it up, and it just works, right?
Correct. Everything out of the package is exactly what you want it to be. You've got two different things that are involved here. There's the gimmick that makes the whole thing work, and there's also a custom printed and cut gaff that you can give away as a souvenir. So keep that in mind. There is a switch that's involved. Full disclosure. I'm sure you probably could have guessed that yourself, but figured I'd throw it out there. But yeah, you get everything you need straight out of the package.
Perfect. All right. This is a cool question from my buddy Brian Sanders, because he's a worker. He wants to know: is there a way to do the split effect with the card and then make it go back to its original state to avoid having to hand out the card for souvenirs? So is there a back and forth? Or is that covered on the instructional? Or yeah, what about that?
So the main focus of the tutorial here is purely on this card being a souvenir. Although they do teach some presentations. There's one particular presentation that they do teach where the card does go back to normal, so you don't have to burn all of those souvenir cards. And then there's even routines on there that specifically only use the souvenir cards, so you don't use the normal gimmick at all. So I think they covered quite a gambit on that to make it really accessible for anyone that might be wanting to perform this. also, once you kind of understand how this gimmick works, if you're a crafty type of person, you could probably come up with the solution to do this exact trick, but in reverse, to where you could start with the mismade card and turn it into a regular card, so that just throwing it out there. It's not included in this set, but hey, if you're interested in something like that, talk to me. We can walk you through that.
I would just like to say something too. I'm going to jump back here. I messaged this to John when I first got a peek at the trailer. Because Justin Tiemann, and I'll get to Justin's question in one sec about you not being in the trailer. I think you know where I'm going, John. At one point in the trailer, when I watched it the first time, I swear to God, John, I thought this was you. Like on first glance, I'm like, wait a second, why is John in his own trailer, but he's not in his own trailer? Like, what is going on? At first glance, it kind of looks like you. So I thought that was kind of funny. So based on that, Justin did want to know, why didn't you feature yourself in the trailer, John? Also, what presentational hook is your favorite outside of just, look at this? But why are you not in the trailer? That's the big question that Justin wanted, and then we'll get to the second part of that.
Sure. So, if full disclosure, I chit-chatted with them about possibly filming, and then it didn't happen that way. I think there was some COVID restrictions at the time whenever we first started talking about the potential of filming. So it kind of seemed like it might not happen then. And then I, was fully like, well, I mean, hey, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And then I think it just kind of went from there. It wasn't necessarily my choice to not be in the
Gotcha.
trailer or the instructional or anything like that. But I don't know that that's necessarily a good or bad thing. You know what I mean? Like it just is what it is, kind of thing.
Sure, I get it. And the second part of his question was, Justin wanted to know, do you have other ways to present it, or do you personally have ways to present it where it's not just, hey, look at this? The presentational side of it. Do you address that? Are there some things you want to share here? Just when it comes to the way that you're doing it, not just going David Blaine style. Hey, watch this. Yeah, you know what I mean. But maybe you're doing that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for video, doing the classic kind of thing like you saw in the trailer, where you're showing the card and then you do a visual change, something like that. That's of course nice, but if you're performing this in a close-up environment, on the tutorial, what's neat is they go through the full like ambitious card kind of routining of the whole thing, which is awesome. If you're doing it on video, I think the visual changes kill it. Another visual change they didn't do is the one where you toss up and catch. I think that looks great as well. It's really just your personal preference on the whole thing, and I honestly encourage you to be creative with those presentations. They teach a great presentation on there with the ambitious card, but you can take it further, I'm sure.
Cool. Another great question coming in here, and I would love to know this myself. A new face around these parts, Ezekiel, wanted to know, how many prototypes did it take to get to the final version? I like that question a lot. So yeah, how many?
So first of all, love Ezekiel. He's great. I also love Tiemann. I didn't mean to leave people out. I know Ezekiel is new to this group, but he is not new to me. I've known him for quite a while. He's actually an Oklahoma boy as well. We used to hang out at the local Magic Club. So shout out to Ezekiel. And I've gone through a lot of different prototypes. There's probably 6 or 7 different renditions of this. I've done, instead of doing the vertical split, I've done it horizontally. I've done it with bills. I've tried different types of cards to kind of see how that would all work, including using the like Duraplex plastic or whatever it is from Bicycle. I've done it in cherries. I've done it in the black cards. I've done it in whatever these skull cards are. I've done it in Phoenix cards. I literally have created a version with pretty much any deck that you can think of, and as well as different orientations of how it splits, and even the materials themselves. Like I've put it in bills and stuff like that, like I said. So the core of the gimmick has been the exact same thing since inception, more or less. It's just kind of fine tuning and tweaking it to get it just right.
Cool. Very cool. Um, a personal question from me to you. The young version of you, looking at you now doing this, um, what advice would you share with someone? Maybe they're not just a young person. Maybe they're just someone's getting into magic. Doesn't matter how old they are, and they look at this impossible thing of, oh my god, like I would love to do that, but I could never do that. Like just some general advice for people as a creator that you're now hitting the market, and you're not done. Like this is just a start for you, but just some general thoughts on this process and what it means to you too, because not around here we don't just talk about specifics, we talk about people, and obviously this means a lot to you. So when it comes to that side of things, why don't you kind of share a little wisdom and advice from the Shack perspective? I think we'd all appreciate that.
Well, I think number one, something that you said there is that maybe this person doesn't think that they can do something like this. And first of all, that's the wrong mentality. The great, powerful Zach Heath once told me to stop being so self-loathing because I had a lot of negative self-talk like that. So I would encourage you to change that mindset immediately and start believing in yourself a little bit. Because you can do this, and I promise you, I'm an idiot, and I did it. So you can absolutely do it. And really, I think the key to all this creativity stuff is effort. Like you can say that maybe you're not a creative person, but maybe you're really good at coming up with routining kind of things and finding the essence of what it is the trick should be in your context. But maybe you're creative and want to come up with interesting kind of gimmicks and stuff, and you've dabbled here and there. Maybe you've heard no a million times, but you got to keep trying. At the end of the day, you just keep going, keep plugging away. I wish that there was like some sage wisdom going on there, but if we're being perfectly honest, you just got to keep trying. That's 100% of this. I think is just keep going, keep trying. Eventually something will click. Again, this thing, I didn't set out to create something that is ultimately going to get picked up by magic companies. I literally was just trying to be creative every day, and I thought of a cool idea. I wish I could say that I designed it to ultimately come out to the magic public one day or whatever, but that's not it at all. I just had a good idea, and you have good ideas too. And I have bad ideas. I could show you notebooks that are full of those bad ideas, and the real secret to creativity is just sifting through all that stuff.
Well said. Yeah. But it does need to be said. As common as some of this stuff sounds to some of us, it is very, very much needed in the industry to talk about that type of stuff too. So thanks for sharing some thoughts. We very much appreciate it. Yeah. Any other questions for John about this? I don't want to just run with the things I was thinking about. But if anyone has any other last questions for John, as we start to wrap up our chat with him here, and we got a whole lot more show to go, guys. So don't you go anywhere. We got some giveaways coming up right after this, and some other fun things too. But any last questions for John, and anything that you want to drop in, John, that hasn't been asked, but you're like, man, I really wish I could tell people this.
Okay, another full disclosure thing. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, what I'm not allowed to say. Nobody has coached me on any of this stuff, so I'm a loose cannon. But this is a gimmick that will last you a long time if you take care of it. It also has the potential that you might need to repair the gimmick occasionally. There's been a lot of measures taken to make this as bulletproof as possible, and the longevity is definitely there. We went through lots of different tweaks to make it very, very durable. But I'm going to be working on a video with Frankie this weekend. Frankie Valle, our friend in the All Things Magic Lounge. We're gonna film some stuff in Vegas, so that way people will know exactly how to do any repairs and maintenance kind of things, as well as learning my own personal routines for this gimmick. So I understand that some folks are frustrated that I didn't get to be in that trailer or in the tutorial video. But you know what I say? We're gonna make our own, and it's gonna be awesome. And you can have it for free if you purchase this trick.
Cool. All right. And that is something that's going to be fun. Is we've got a few of the All Things Magic friends coming to Vegas this week. We got John Shack, obviously, Frankie Valle, and Ryan Byer. We were trying to get Bernardo and some other friends, but they punked out. They punked out. So whatever. You know what I mean, yo, right? that's not fire, yo. But we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time in Vegas. So yeah.
I'm super stoked. Hey, we're gonna go see Blaine while we're out there. That'll be boss time.
Yes. So the boys will be in town. We may pop up and show you what we're up to. Some Vegas shenanigans. We'll see. Yeah. So I think the last question we'll ask is a good one. A good way to wrap up the combo here. And that one is from Dwayne. Shaq, are you working on a new project? So obviously this just came out. We're not going to skip over that part. But can people expect to see more magic from you as time goes on? We're not going to give any ETAs or expect you to share anything, but can we expect to see your name pop up more as time goes on?
Sure. I would definitely not like to give any ETAs, considering I wouldn't have been able to do it for you on this particular trick. So maybe that's a little far-fetched. I've got another thing that's currently in the pipeline with Penguin. So it'll come out whenever it comes out. I'll be excited about it either way. I've got lecture notes that I've been working on the writing for, and there's some tweaks I need to make here and there, but that's another thing that you can expect from me in the near future is some lecture notes. I've got another handful of things that I think are finally ready to push through that pipeline. So yeah, I think in the near future, hopefully you'll be seeing a lot more.
Sounds good, my friend. Sounds good. And these tacos, by the way, are just fantastic. Some fantastic tacos tonight. So.
Lucky.
Yeah. Delicious. Well, John Shack, this goes out to you one more time.
Congratulations!
Everyone out there, give him some love in the chat. We'll post the comments up. We got to get the love just floating around for the man. And it has been a true pleasure, just not from me, but I'm sure from everyone out there, getting to know you over the last few years, in our All Things Magic lounge. We got a lot of great friends here that we've met, from the pandemic on, John, and you were one of those people that really stood out. And it was fun watching you show your magic on there and jam it out and just really get to know you. So we appreciate you also sharing your time with us and, just being a good friend. You are a damn good friend. So thank you as well for that. Not just the magic, just being you. You're a solid guy, and we all know it and appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Luke. I appreciate the things you're doing with this group. You have the best group on Facebook, hands down. Your magic shop is wonderful. I love purchasing things from you. Your shipping speeds are that of Elon Musk. I don't know how you do it. It's lightning fast. I never have to wait long. I could probably order something from you right now and have it before I go to Vegas this week. It's incredible the work that you're doing. And honestly, man, I really appreciate all the kudos and stuff. I'm really bad at taking compliments, so I'm really appreciative. But I would much rather that you are an incredible beacon of light for this magic community, and I'm thankful to have you as a friend.
Aw, man. Well, good vibes going around, man. Lots of love in the air tonight for sure. Not just with you, but the whole fam. It's just like one big group hug for you, man. Like, I've been there. A lot of us have, worked on projects and gotten to the end and seen it. It's a big day. It's a really big day and a very big, cool, very, very cool thing. No small task. And soak it up, man. Enjoy every second of it because you earned it. You deserve it. This is a big deal, dude. So congrats.
I'm going to try. I'll try my best.
Oh, yeah.
I really do appreciate you for having me on here. And I appreciate all the questions from everybody. I'd love to jam on it more in the future and love to hear what you think and hear what you like or dislike. Give it all to me. I'll take it.
Sounds good. All right, you heard it here. John Shack. Keep up with him online. Obviously, he also goes by the Stoned Sorcerer. That's the stage show that he does. Ooh, I wasn't supposed to say anything. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Check him out. He may be coming to a city near you. You'll know he's coming because you'll see the cloud of smoke that comes into your town.
Yeah. I'm having like stoner claws.
So he's not just a creator; he's a performer of magic. He doesn't just think of the stuff; he does it. And some of the ideas he's come up with for that character are actually pretty freaking awesome. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that too. Not just this stuff, but the performer side of John Shack too. So, anyway, I digress. So, John, thank you so much for being here, man. And I'm sure we'll catch you over in the lounge sometime soon. So, appreciate the time, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you very much.
You got it, buddy. Catch you next time.